Have you ever met someone who moves at just a violent pace? Like they never seem to hesitate, never second guess, just make the call and go. And meanwhile, you're standing there watching them, thinking to yourself, how the fuck are they doing that? These people are dangerously effective. They say things and then they just make them happen. While everyone else is still thinking about it, they've already moved 3 steps ahead. And well, let me tell you, it's not talent. It's not some personality trait you either have or you don't. It's a skill. And so in the next 7 minutes, I'm going to walk you through the 4 iron rules of becoming just absurdly decisive. So let's get into it. Rule 1, speed over everything. Speed over precision, speed over direction, speed even over being right. Don't fixate on making the right call every time. Just make more decisions faster, period. It sounds ridiculous, but speed gives you advantages that thinking about things just can't. It gives you reps. The guy making 10 calls in the time it takes you to make one, they're learning 9 things you're not, irrespective of whether they're right every time. But to move at that speed, you need to leave the permanent gray zone where most people live. The space where everything is, I'm not sure, let me think about it. You have to kill the maybe. Think binary, black and white, yes or no. If you're not sure, that's a no. If you think it's probably the right call, that's a yes. Don't sit there trying to close the last 20-30% of uncertainty. That gap is a trap. You will spend more time in it than you will on the actual thing. Yes or no, and move on. Now you might say, easier said than done. Just pick yes or no and move. Sounds simple. In practice, it's exactly the thing people get stuck on, right? So how do you actually make the decision when you're stuck? Rule 2, trust your gut. Maybe 90% of the time, you know the right answer the moment the decision comes up. You feel it instinctually. It's just that you don't trust it yet. Instead, you intellectualize it. You try to think it through, build a case for and against, ask others, look for advice online, and end up a week later exactly where your instincts were pointed in the first second. You're not deciding, you're getting permission. When I say trust your gut, this isn't some woo-woo or mystical thing. It's just biology. You are a pattern recognition machine. Billions of years of evolutionary pressure built you to read situations and pick up signals constantly in the background without you even noticing. From the point of view of your physiology, it's literally life or death. The stakes couldn't be higher, which is why your sensors are so incredibly sensitive and switched on. The same way your heart just keeps beating, your nervous system is continuously processing things your conscious mind hasn't caught up to yet. That feeling in your stomach isn't random noise. There's data in it. You just have to listen to it. And it matters most exactly in the toughest situations where people feel the strongest urge to override it. The limited information calls, the ones where you can't even put in the words why something feels off, but you just know. Listen to the first thought, not blindly, but as a rule of thumb. 9 times out of 10, you'll be fine. And the one time your gut goes wrong, well, it probably doesn't matter because rule 3, fail fast. At SpaceX, they have this engineering philosophy, V1 thinking. The idea is don't try to design the perfect rocket on day 1. Build the first functional version as fast as you can, test it, and then learn from it and iterate. Don't plan for 3 years, build something real in 3 months and then see what breaks. That's V1. But I want to take it one step further, V0 thinking. And the difference is this, you don't even bother about whether you're right or wrong on the first try. In fact, you positively assume the first decision actually will be wrong, and you just focus on getting it out of the way as quickly as possible. Not functional, not good, not even close, just done, out the door. You're not even trying to get a working version. You're trying to get the failure out of the way. Because failure has this weird property. Once it's happened once, it's like a spell is broken. All the anxiety about what if I make the wrong call, it evaporates the second you actually do. Now you're free. Now you can think clearly. Now the next decision is 10 times easier because you're not carrying the weight of being perfect on the first try anymore. So V0 thinking is assume that you will be wrong. Before you even start, you already accept that this first call is probably not it. And that's the point. You want to fail fast because you will learn from it and you will get to the right answer quicker than you would have otherwise. Get the wrong decision out of the way like it's a fixed cost, just the price of entry. And if it turns out you're actually right, great, bonus, but you don't need that. You just need to move. Okay, but what if you actually can't afford to be wrong? What if the thing you're deciding is genuinely high stakes, life or death, career defining, you only get one shot kind of stuff? Well, fair point. because everything I've said applies mostly to the short-term tactical calls, the day-to-day decisions that come and go. And honestly, that's most of what you're dealing with, more than you think. But there is this other category, not the day-to-day, the big decisions you go for, the long-term directions, the things you actually commit your life to, the businesses, the relationships, the degrees, your path in life. And those things actually do deserve careful thought. They're worth thinking about hard. And for those, there's a completely different rule. Rule 4. Burn the boats. In 1519, Hernán Cortez landed on the shores of Mexico with 600 men and a plan. Conquered the Aztec Empire, an empire that spanned 80,000 square miles, had a population of tens of millions of people, and an army of roughly 300,000 warriors, with just 600 guys. And somehow, he actually pulled it off. And the first thing he did when they got off the ships is he sunk them. So there was no way home, no retreat possible. Either fight or die. Sounds insane, but it's actually genius, because Cortez understood that his men weren't one unified army. There were 600 individuals with conflicting ideas and opinions. Some of them wanted to fight, some of them wanted to go back home, and some of them were already planning to desert. But by sinking the ships, he removed the option to retreat from the table. And in doing that, he turned 600 conflicted men into one unified force. And you are exactly like Cortez's army. You don't have one opinion, you don't have one set of desires. You have dozens of conflicting impulses running at the same time. Part of you is hedging, part of you is already mentally preparing the exit, and it changes every day. So when you don't fully commit to a direction, when you leave the ships intact, those mental loops will go on and on. You'll second guess, reconsider, start looking for alternatives 2 weeks in. And that's why people today can't stick with anything long enough to actually see results. It's not just that they can't decide what to do, it's that even when they do, they don't commit, they keep coming back to it, question it again and again until they inevitably get sold by the next thing. They hit the first wall and immediately start asking themselves, is this the right path? That's analysis paralysis, that's FOMO, that's shiny object syndrome, that's keeping the boats around as a plan B. So when you choose a direction, actually go for it, commit to it 100%, like there's no way back. Stop keeping an exit plan in your back pocket, because that is the only way you'll ever give it a real shot. So there you have it, the 4 iron rules. Speed over everything, trust your gut, fail fast, and burn the boats. People think being decisive is a personality trait, but remember, it's a skill, and now you know how to practice it until the rules stop feeling like rules and start feeling like who you are. Alright, if you liked this video, do me a favor, hit that like button, subscribe, all that good stuff. And if you want to go deeper, watch this video right here about why most of what you're doing all day probably doesn't matter as much as you think, and how to find the few things that do. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.